And what was the first thing that you guys worked on?
First thing we worked on?
Or first time?
Wow, that's crazy because you know what? Corrupt was dating Foxy at that time.
Uh-huh.
It was like that moment. And I was like, wow. Corrupt's like hanging out with Foxy. Those kind of things were like so ill to me because it was like West Coast, East Coast, you know what I mean? After all the beef and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was a moment, right?
Dude, that was crazy. What'd you ask? I just went ADD right quick. What'd you ask?
No, when was the first time we worked together?
Oh, he came to Virginia to our studio, and Chad and I, we had a studio together, and I'll never forget, I thought From the Church to the Palace was going to be the hardest record out, and it was for us.
I like the video. The video was sick.
Yeah. But that wasn't the record that did it. The record that did it was beautiful. And that was the one I was like, yeah. That was the record that was like...
The one we didn't pay attention to.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, but that's the one. What's dude name over at Priority? Shaq.
Shaq, yep, Andrew Shaq.
Come on, Pharrell.
This is the one, man. I'm telling you, it's the
this
record.
This is the one.
Wait, come on. Shaq picked it?
Yeah.
I know.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
He's my
neighbor.
Credit
yeah.
Too. This one time this motherfucker do get credit.
That's so rad.
That's the one, man.
Yeah, he picked that.
I'm like, okay.
But remember, I had never had a song like that.
Yeah.
And you helped me tap into that world because I was never one to try to find that side of myself as a writer because I was always writing gangster music and trying to be hard. But you showed me how to tap into, writing for the women as opposed to talking about the women. And that was a different level of my pen.
It's crazy. Appreciate you, big bro. And that record took us to Brazil.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Well, I I always wanted to go to Brazil, so back then they was doing $400,000-$500,000 budgets. So we called
Shaq paid for that?
No, they paid for it. We called in Chris Robinson. We came up with the treatment and the whole nine. And when we got over there, it was just like, man, Lord. We had the time of our life when we got there.
Good gracious.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. Heavens and Murgatroyd.
Let me tell y'all something. I had never in my life seen anything like that.
That wasn't your first time there, though, right?
Everybody was beautiful.
Good gracious.
Everybody. The gas station people, the people that worked at the gas station with the green slacks on, the little Taco Bell slacks with the little shirt. Fine as a damn, baby, what you doing working at the gas station?
It was
I'm serious.
We were bewildered.
I kept going back to that gas station like, oh man, what's happening?
I'm just speechless. I lost my mind.
In Brazil?
My phone bill was so crazy. I was calling on my friends like, you have to come down here. They're everywhere.
How many times did you come back after that? Because I came back about like 15 times after
Wait. Might have matched you on that. It was, man, and that was, I have to say, still to this day, that is, the stereotypical way of like looking at music videos is like, look, that was the best video set I've ever been on in my life.
Hands down.
They were everywhere. And look, let me not sound like I'm objectifying. I'm just trying to tell you, as a human being and as a black man, I had one perception of what Brazil was. I didn't know that 52% of that whole entire population of Brazil is black. Mm-hmm. Okay? I had no idea. So I had no idea that the proportional situation was going to be what it was.
Beauty was in the eye of the beholder.
That was amazing. What you guys don't know about Snoop, and Game actually too. Snoop's 9 foot, but he hangs with, it's okay for me to say Crips, right? Yeah. He hangs with Crips that are like 12 feet tall. And there's like 40 of them.
And 10 feet wide.
Yes. And you've never seen human beings this tall and huge and tall and huge. Ever. And when you open up in the record plant, the doors were like glass, soundproof, but they were glass. And so you guys would understand this being from California. I never seen nothing like this. When you're like in the hills or whatever, sometimes you look down in the valley, you just see this layer of smoke. No, excuse me, Freudian slip. Fog. And so when you look into the room, when they're in there, you see these tall guys, you see their heads coming through the top of the clouds, and then you see their chests and everything going down, and then there's this big like thing of smoke. And so making Drop It Like It's Hot was very easy because the energy in the room was just like, it's just crazy to me. I pull from the energy in the room and from like conversation, but that was that and Let's Get Blown.
But Drop It Like It's Hot was so dope because, see, you had the first verse, right?
Yeah.
And your verse was hard. You went bodyguard hard, right?
And
so
I thought for sure you're going to kick me off.
No. But this the crazy part that they may not know. So I do my verse, boom, and you don't like it. You're like, nah, you could come harder than that. So then I had to re-whip it and do it again. And then when I re-whipped it, I did that one and I did that one.
Yes.
And it was magic, and it was the fact that you even told me, like, nah, you can make my verse harder than yours. In so many words, that's what you were saying.
Not in no certain terms.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. You like, you know my verse is, like, harder than yours, so you know. I'm like, okay, but I like to be pushed like that. Like, when I'm acting, I love to be directed. I tell a director, don't be afraid of the Snoop Dogg stigma and feel like you can't tell me what to do. I love to be directed. When I'm with a producer, I love to be produced. So that means tell me when I'm wrong, when I'm right. If I didn't get it right, if I didn't say it right, if I did it wrong, if you don't like the verse, I'm good. I can scratch it and come again. But you have to tell me that to get that out of me, and that's what you got out of me. That's why that was my first #1 single ever.
Wow.
Was Drop It Like It's Hot.
Wow.
That's
Thank
so
you.
wild.
Wow. I didn't even know that. That's cold-blooded.
When I'm working with Pharrell, I'm more loose. Like, Pharrell comes to me and he basically asking me and telling me to be in this lane. When I'm with Dr. Dre, I'm like a little tighter, tense, because he's a perfectionist, and I know that he wants me to enunciate, to pronounce the words properly, to have the right rhythm, the right tone, the right delivery. And to me, it's like a professor as opposed to a teacher. I feel like when I'm with Pharrell, I'm with a teacher. When I'm with Dre, I'm with a professor. I'm learning from both of them, but the professor is more harder on me than the teacher. The teacher relates to the student more than the professor does. The professor does it his way and don't change his way. But the teacher identifies with the student and is flexible with working with the student. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
Wow.
Because I actually think that you are one of the few artists that brings the best out of both of them.
Yeah. I really love, you know what I love about with Pharrell early in the game is that he was the answer to Dr. Dre. Because everybody would always say, well, that shit ain't harder than the shit Dre gave you. You know what the thing Dre gave. When we did Drop It Like It's Hot, he called Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine to the studio, and I left that day on purpose. and you didn't know why. He was like, man, what dog? What? I left because I don't like being around cuz like that. Because it usually be the wrong answer. He usually be like, that shit was whack. But that called me immediately. He was like, you and Pharrell, y'all got one with that shit. I said, oh, okay. All right. It was approved by, you know what I'm saying? When you get the approval by the doc, you in there.
Speaking of smoke, like, the one thing you gotta, I mean, you could say many things about this guy. His Pop Warner football team. Like, there's so many things, and also we'll get to it later. But you and I have something in common.
Okay.
But we'll get into it in a minute. But what I was gonna say was, talking about smoke, like this guy was ahead of it. What's the prop right now?
64.
Yeah, which is gonna get passed, and this guy
That too,
essentially
And
he
what
led
about
the
your
charge.
He's also got a new app too, right?
Yeah, MaryJane.com. We are the encyclopedia to marijuana.
And that's gonna go.
Yeah, and we also have product in Denver, Colorado, Leafs by Snoop.
Speaking of product, and producing people.
Yes, sir.
We were in the studio working on a song called California Roll. And Snoop was testing his product. One of which I think was called, what was it, Caviar Gold?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Caviar Gold. Of course I didn't hit it. Of course not. I'm just chilling. And Stevie Wonder's coming to the studio. I'm super excited. I'm like, yes, like, you know, I'm coming to the studio. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be fun. So we've been waiting on him or whatever, and then finally we get the call to say he's on his way. He's on his way. So Snoop starts smoking Caviar Gold. I'm not thinking.
Stevie gonna be in a minute.
I'm like, all right, cool, like we usually do, right? All of a sudden, I'm like, man, I think I have a contact. I ain't sure, but I just let it go. Stevie comes in. When Stevie comes in, you guys know that music that comes on The Simpsons? Oh, I literally hear that. The keyboard's not playing, the Pro Tools aren't playing. I'm like, wow, I'm definitely high. The next thing I know, Snoop is tapping me on my shoulder. Everyone's in the room because, of course, it's Stevie Wonder. The booth is that way, in the glass. I'm sitting here, Snoop is on my shoulder going, produce the Pharrell. He right there. Produce the He waiting on you right now. I'm pressing the talk button. Okay, sir. Steve is like, man, if you call me sir one more time. So now, I want the seat to swallow me up because I am so high that I'm paranoid. Bro, do you know how scared I was? I left the session. I was like, man, I gotta go home. So we in a truck. I'm telling him, I'm like, man, we on the highway, the 405, driving slow as a we doing like 10 miles per hour. People blowing everything. I'm like this, man, don't you speed up. I don't care. That is the strongest weed on the planet.
It is. It is.
Oh my goodness.
No more.
You don't?
No, I let it go.
You did?
I let it go. I had to tone it down a little bit. That was too much.
You know what? I don't feel so weak anymore.
But you told the story the right way though, cause I tell people the same story, man. That shit is funny to me. You got me over here crying.
How long was the pregnant pause of silence of me not noticing?
The nigga was in the booth, Stevie Wonder's in that mother trying to figure it out. The nigga just in there. I'm like, God, it's in there.
How long?
At least 5 minutes, dog. At least.
So you know, and I'm like this.
But the turned out amazing, though.
It did.
It really did, cause he understood what we needed. Like, cause once you left, I was like, damn, I guess I got to produce the now. Just sing what the you want, Stevie, and when Pharrell get here, he gonna take the that he likes and he gonna put the in there, okay? You got that, Stevie? All right, go ahead.
Bro.
For real.
I will never forget that.
The last thing we wanted to ask you about was your Doggy Style records coming back.
Whoa, really?
The return of Doggy Style Records. Yeah, I came back to my neighborhood and found a lot of talent out here in the LBC. Giving back, just trying to get some hope to some MCs out here that really don't have the opportunity that I had. So, you know, re-releasing my record label. My first artist is Jabba. He got an album out called One Way Out, Only Way Out. The movie and the album is out right now.
Wow.
This is what I do. I just love giving back. I love finding that talent, that hidden jewel, that hidden gem, and giving that opportunity. You know, whether they become platinum artists or not, it's just about giving them a chance to do something, giving them more opportunity. Because where we come from, it's only certain things that you know how to do. So if you teach them something else, then they master that and they become great at that. So
Yeah.
just trying to give up some more hope.
That's awesome. Doggy
Sir.
Style Records.
Yes, sir. The return.
That's amazing.